Team 2 landing page and then take care of the other agenda items. So Team 2 homepage, put a link to it as well. One of the things I'm going to do as well is just bonus part of the training here is on each page, this menu item, you can send a link. I'm going to just go ahead and grab this link. And I'll embed it in today's agenda. And want to kind of fill out the rest of the details on the team because there's a couple tasks that I'm sure that you guys didn't complete. But even though it sounds small, it's actually a pretty good to get started with the iRise community. There's so when we last left, when we last were together, we did something kind of wild and crazy. We all kind of tried to aim and throw behaviors on the screen, and we missed. I think everyone missed everything. So let's just do a quick review. So we have the menu tabs working up here, but the switch views. So we have Adora and I, we worked on getting the menu behavior to work, but we have not added the switch views. Ideally, we want, debug mode. We want this team roster to change. Like, so the Ying is great, but when I click on Adora, it should move to Adora. And when I click on Manica, it should move over to their private island. So let's see and go through, do a quick attendance use here. That way I don't waste everyone's time. So, we've got good folks. We have the Ying here, Yi. All right, excellent. Yi's here. Yi has a tab. The Ying has a tab. Anita. All right, we'll work with Anita getting her tab on menu 2. We'll fix up this little UI issue. Looks like there's an extra space on Manica this one, but we'll need to get Anita set up, guide her to menu 2 with her item. And then we're going to move into there to kind of masters. So what I'd like to do is, Anita, I would like to grab control of Anita's screen and just make her the presenter and just kind of navigate her to the Team 2 page. But if everyone could navigate to that, that'd be great. The way I have it organized right here is when you get into your definition center, underneath some browser, we have the ActionNet Center practice and Team page 2. So, Anita, I'm going to switch the presenter over to you.
Okay.
And hit request keyboard and mouse control. But if I could get the keyboard and mouse control, I'm going to kind of move you there and then get us all on the same page. And then I'm going to be able to show you something that Adora and I did that we'll want to get on. So, all right, so great. We'll need to get an iRise session, get a studio session launched. I'm pretty sure, Nathan, you have Studio installed, right? So we just need to launch our Studio? Okay. And also, just as an FYI, the way that I collaborate on these wiki pages, you'll notice I keep on adding as the meeting goes on. So, this agenda has already been populated, so there's already a link there, and of course we'll go back and put in the YouTube. Just out of curiosity, has anyone been able to see that there are YouTube videos on these pages and be able to access them?
Honestly, I didn't do any online training or anything. Just attending these classes.
I was just thinking in terms of the, well, I'm going to check something on your computer. Apparently so I think we're on landing page. You hit the landing page, that recent project. And then Anita, I was just going to ask, if you could go back to that wiki page that we were at, that's used to join the meeting. Chrome. Good. I think you had in your Chrome window. And can you hit the previous training? Oh yeah. Oh, so right here. So I can see you're in the ActionNet network, and within ActionNet, you're not able to see the YouTube video. So I think Adura found out that if you're on the wireless, you can see YouTube videos, but if you're cabled in, you cannot. So that, just want to let you guys know that's a resource. Okay, so Adura, Anissa, could you please go to? Oh, you don't need to launch that.
Okay.
Don't do nothing there.
Okay.
Yeah, just close that page down. All right, so you can navigate to the ActionNet Center of Practice. Move that folder open and go to page 2, Team 2, up to the second page. Move your mouse up there, up a little bit higher. Move 2 icons up.
So did I click on the Team 2 folder?
No, it's a little bit higher. It's Team Page, Team 2. And so would want to just kind of catch you up. If you could go, we are going to give you menu 2. In fact, just to make your screen a little simpler, we did some wild stuff. If you hit F12, you can make the screen a little bit simpler for yourself. Hit F12 on your computer, your keyboard.
What do you want me to hit?
Function 12, F12.
Okay. Okay.
And that way you don't have to see all the behaviors that we're doing. And you can zoom in if you want. If you hold down the Control and Alt, you can lasso around menu 2, so it's easier for you to manipulate. So if you hold the Control Alt key and then kind of lasso. Control Alt and lasso. And let me show you on my screen what I'm talking about here.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you almost did it here. You can show my screen. So I'm going to hit F12 just like Manica did right here, because I'm going to have her work on updating something on the screen. And she's kind of, or Anita rather, and she's kind of zoomed out there. So what I'm going to do is there's a keyboard shortcut really handy. I'm going to hold down the Control key and the Alt key, and then I'm going to lasso, and it moves me in real fast like that.
Where do I see the lasso? Do I have to drag?
The lasso is a drag and drop. So you hold down Control Alt and then hold down your left button, and you can. They call it. I thought it was a lasso. I'll switch presenter over to you just so I can peer over your shoulder.
One switch. Okay.
Oh, looks like Manica fixed her screen. All right.
No, I didn't. I don't know how they
did it. You hold down the Control and the Alt key, and then you hold down your left button and just kind of draw a box. It'll zoom into where you're at. Were you able to figure that
out? What I'm doing is like I'm doing the Control Alt and then dragging.
Okay. That's kind of an acquired, we're kind of getting to the part here, like some of the iRise ninja moves. And right now you're zoomed in at 500%. If I could if you could share your controls, I want to point out a couple things on your screen. Because a lot of this is kind of trying to navigate there. So right now you're zoomed in, okay, 100%, not bad. Try to make everything, make your other one in the center as well, your horizontal scroll bar.
I give back the control to you.
Oh, you made me the presenter. Okay, that's fine as well. So ideally, when you're lost, always just kind of make your scroll bars in the center. And then, Anita, once you set up, although I thought I saw that you named it in there. Let's go ahead and then just make sure everything's named correctly. So I think I started to work on this with Manica. Anita, go ahead and if you could make menu 2, rename that to your name, we can start moving into the behaviors.
So have to be, can you give me the control?
Oh, you want to control my screen? Let me give you controls. Oops. All right, Lisa, you can do iRise control. You can do iRise on my computer. Okay, so yep. And see, it's a little tricky when you're zoomed out like that. So what I recommend doing, so I'm going to show you this kind of lasso move. I'm going to hold down Control and Alt and watch this. Oops. Control Alt. And also, if I hold down Control Alt, I can roll my mouse wheel back and forth. So
Okay.
that just makes it a little part of the challenge is being able to control these mouse gestures can be a little tricky. Okay, I'll one other thing, Anita, and I'll give the control back to you. If you take a look down at the breadcrumb, I just wanted to point this out. See this breadcrumb here?
Yeah.
This breadcrumb shows that there's a text widget named Manica that happens to also be inside of a menu item widget called Manica. And see, as I click these things up, it shows the focus. That will become very valuable. This is a good habit to start right now. So, Anita, when you take a look at yours, it says in a text box called Menu 2. So the shortcut is type in Anita once, copy it and save it to the clipboard, and then I'm sorry, just Anita. I don't know why I said one. And if you copy this, I'm going to Control C.
Yep.
If you want to, and if you click off, you'll see that it's named. And then go down to that breadcrumb down there and click Menu 2. And then on Menu 2, I copied it. You can just highlight it and hit Paste. And that way you paste the whole thing, Control V. Perfect. And then you go to the event. Now select Anita menu item again, because we want to add a behavior. And go up one more. We want to put the behavior on the menu item, not on the text box. Give user, and then go to Events. And we already have an event, but rename that event to OnClick Anita, and I'll show you why in a minute. Because we're about to turn off the friendly view. We're about to look into spaghetti just for a little bit while we're doing behaviors. In that event that says Menu 2, call that Menu 2. Everything just blast Anita. Type in Anita everywhere you can. So just you can delete and type in Anita. Perfect. All right. Now we're about to go into behaviors. And I just want to show you what we've done here. We now have half of the equation working, and Adora is just slightly ahead of the class. Oh, and we've got an issue with Manica to fix too. Great. But you can now see if Anita, if you move off, see you're selected. Manica, she has a space on hers. Let's take a look at hers real quickly. I'm thinking if we just give this text box just a little cramped for her, and if we do that, it might just well, when this happens, there is the I prefer just to do the nuclear option here. Manica, if you're here, this is sometimes it's easier to sometimes it's just easier to create a menu item than troubleshoot it. I recommend we'll just add a menu item, and then Manica, if you would make menu 6 the new one, we'll call this one delete.
Okay.
And call this guy delete. Move on up here. And then Manica, if you could just transfer everything from this guy over here, so rename menu 6 to Manica. There you go. And then work your way up there, and then after that we'll delete Manica. While Manica is doing that, all right, cool. She's moving through this pretty quickly. One thing that Manica is also going to need to do, and we're about to get into this, she's going to have to attach, since we just created this new menu item, and let's see if that UI has been corrected by this
no,
creating another menu item here. Manica works just fine. But she doesn't have a behavior. You click on it, nothing happens. So Manica, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to switch. I wonder how to set. I was going to make Manica the presenter here, if you don't mind. And I don't think everyone saw. I don't think everyone saw the session that Adora and I did. I want to show Manica the way to kind of add a behavior on your screen. So first, hit F12, Manica, so you don't have to look at all this scary spaghetti stuff. Make the screen look a little friendlier. Nice. Now, if you can lasso in by showing Anita before, if you hold down Control and Alt, you can kind of lasso into your area.
In this text box?
If you hold down Control and Alt, you can scroll your mouse wheel up, and it'll zoom you in.
Okay. So you want me to zoom in, or I'm not?
Yeah, I wanted you to kind of zoom in, make life a little easier on yourself, give yourself a easier area to click. That is one way to zoom in, but once you get going, you're not going to want to move over to the right-hand side. It's going to be very valuable to learn. We'll spend time at the end of the session. I want everyone to get comfortable at using the shortcuts for zooming in and out, because it's easier for keeping the momentum. So Manica, go ahead and select your text, and let's just make sure everything's named Manica all the way through. So just call the text box Manica. Is it Manica or Manica?
It's Manica.
Manica. All right. Gosh, I've been saying that. I know I've said it the wrong way at least 20 times in a row.
It's okay.
All right. Okay, so Manica, if you could, so right now it's perfect. Now we want to add an event. So on the breadcrumb, select the Manica text, and then we want the Manica menu item selected.
Here?
Go one up higher.
This one?
One higher. Yes, not that high, that Manica. Click that one. You now selected the menu item. We want to add an event to it, so if you go to the Event tab, and on-click Add, yep, everything's good, and hit the Add item and add an action. And the action you want to do is Set Menu. And this is going to be really easy because you just named it. Had you not done this, you would have been Menu 6, I believe. And you hit Done. So now if we go and have the, refresh the screen, when you select your widgets, Manica selected. But the problem is it's not switching the view. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of show my screen now and give everyone a challenge. We're going to add a behavior. So now we're going to, caution, spaghetti's coming back. You have to take a look at these things. And this is why labels are so valuable, because there's just stuff all over here. This is the old behavior that I'm going to just, Manica, if you can see that, just go ahead and delete that one. That's left over. This guy right here. Delete this one. And then for the naming, we need to do some labeling here too. So Manica, if you see this guy right here, go ahead and delete him or her.
Okay. How do I go back to the usual view?
Hit F12 again. Okay. Alternatively, you can go right here to the view, but you're going to want to start doing this, learning keyboard shortcuts. Now, what we did with the door, and I'm going to kind of give us some room here. Labeling is really important because see how easy it was for Adora to kind of figure out which item she wanted to do the switch view on. Well, we need to kind of do the same thing with all of our items, especially if we're collaborating. So I think we must have done this for Yi already. For Manica, I know it, or Manica, I'm sorry. Someone has an event that's called Menus. Event. All right, so I think she set menus. Instead of following the lines, we want to watch what happens. I'm going to type in Manica. and you take a look, we're like, okay, yep, this is the thing that's supposed to be called when that happens. And on E, we've got it nicely set up here. We can find out just by double-clicking what menu is being set. But we want to prevent our team members from having to click in and all the items. So Manika, just like on E's right here, we have put his name here, and so his label shows up. So Manika, if you could, select your item right here, and go back there. Perfect. So everyone's all labeled up, and now the next thing is we need to do a switch view, just like how Adora had. I'm going to show you two ways. Since we're going to do what Adora had, you can hold down keyboard shortcut trick here. I'm going to hold down the control button, and if I hold down the control button and drag Adora's right down here, I have a copy of what Adora did, and I'm going to do it for myself. Oh, by the way, Anise, I see yours is called Menu 2. Could you, if you're on my screen, if you could go right here, select that menu. Oh, you have control of my screen, so go ahead and I'm going to turn off the this one. Go ahead and select Menu 2.
So how do I go back? I mean, I pressed F12 in the beginning, and I don't see all those arrows and notes. So how do I get back?
How do you get? Oh, okay. You hit F12. Let me switch the presenter back to you.
Okay, I got it back.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I got it back.
I'll make myself the presenter. So what I just did is I showed there's one way if I wanted to just kind of copy. I'm like, hey, could you do what Adora just did? Hold down the control button. You can drag it down. You make a copy. The only thing is, Manika already did that. And then you double-click this one. It was going to Adora. We have a dynamic display, and she wanted to go to Manika. The alternate way is, and I'll go ahead and do this for, and Nisa.
Yeah.
Don't forget that you were the old Menu 2, so if you could change this, which currently says Menu 2, change that to Anita. And we see a couple of these guys starting to show up here. I'm going to just kind of move them around, make some room for people so we don't bump into each other. And so the way that we're going to see if everything's working well, so Anita, your set menu item says Menu 2. If you change your label, these guys are the same. So if you could change that to Anita, it'll say Anita right here.
I went to set page action and selected view as Anita.
Oh, great. Yeah, you've done all that.
And it's not changing.
You're slightly ahead of the class. Because the one thing that you need to do after this is you need to connect those two actions. So right now, the only ones that, wow, I could give keyboard and mouse control to everyone on this one. Just going to do that just to make it extra loud. There you go. Manika just did it. Now Manika has it when she clicks. There'll be a set menu item and then a switch view. Yi, right now you have an action right here, but it's showing that you want to change this label here to Yi. Right? So it makes sense here. And then when you double click the view, nice job on the team roster. Excel drawings. And then nice connecting it right there. Right here, Anita, I'm just going to change the label here because I want to just be real clear because we're in the spaghetti code. You don't have to zoom out and be like, okay, when Anita clicks this, as menu item is set to Anita. And, all right, someone's grabbing my control. Who wants to grab the control? Someone can do the training for me.
I can help.
Anita. All right. You want to do that? Go ahead and change the label on, make the menu go to Anita, and then also the label to say Anita as well.
So what I did was I selected the set menu widget, and then went to switch view, and then selected Anita there.
Okay.
And also set menus, and I selected Anita there, and I said done, but it's not changing.
Yes, and there's only one part that's missing. I'm going to just go ahead. This is, it's super easy to make mistakes. So what I'm doing too is just I'm changing the label.
Okay.
When you click it, this action happens, but it just ends right here. In order to connect them, you drag and drop them together. So if you drag, I'm purposely not being helpful because I want you to somehow you drag and drop the other way. I didn't know you could
I'm
do
doing
that.
everything wrong.
Wow, but that's a new icon. I've never seen that before. All right, that's incredible. I think I just figured out how to do an endless loop. You now know how to simulate one of those. So you drag it from the left to the right. I'll let you go ahead and do perfect. All right. So we have a couple other folks. We'll kind of go down here. I was having so much fun, I forgot to do mine. So since Chun Yu's not here, Adora, do you mind doing Chun Yu's for him? And Anita, I'll let you do menu 5. We have a switch view for menu 5. And then Beiying, if you're there, Beiying's on the call, right?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, excellent. Beiying, could you create an action right here, a switch view action? I'm going to show you another way of doing it. You can also, I don't know if we put those in there. Oh, that's fine. You can also add a switch view action right here. I don't know if that yellow, I should get a different highlighter. But that's another way you can drop that widget on here. But since your team members already have some actions here, and move these guys out of the way. Before you do stuff, it's just always a good idea to kind of label it first. That way everyone knows I'm working on this Tony thing. I want to set the menu to Tony, and I want to switch this view to Tony here. And I could say, that way if I'm like, what's going on? Every time I hit here and it goes to switch view Tony, it doesn't do it. Well, I can take a look, and I can see, shoot, it's going to the door. It's kind of your, in math, I don't know, it's, the teacher said, hey, you need to show your work. This is kind of it's really important to show your work when you're working with a bunch of people. All right, Dora, I see Dora's going to grab controls here.
No.
Want to run the training from my computer? Do I think you're doing menu 5 or something like that, or do it local? All right. Beiying's moving around. We want to make sure. Oh, so Dora did Chun Yu.
So who am I doing? I did first Chun Yu and then changed to Beiying. I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, okay. This guy is actually menu 5.
This is menu 5.
Let me turn this back. Someone's grabbed control of mine. I'll turn it back to the mouse. So you accidentally, and this is why it's good to label your event. This is on click menu 5. This is like kind of a placeholder, so this is just all menu 5.
Which one?
Menu 5. Oh, we have menu 5. Oh, or did someone claim menu 5?
Yeah.
Right. That menu 5. Oh, interesting. Okay. On click. Oh, this thing got turned from a switch view to set menu. Interesting. Okay.
So, Tony, how do I add a link?
Oh, someone has a question?
Yeah, Tony, how do I add? This is Beiying. How do I add a link?
Oh, add a link. Oh, this is yeah. So the way you add a link, you just drag right here, and you'll get that.
Oh, will work. Right. Yeah. Oh, let me try again.
And then,
yeah.
and then Anita showed something I've never seen before. Is apparently, it'd be interesting to see what would happen, but you can apparently do an endless loop or something if you drag them back and forth. Don't do that, but I'm sure that would break something. And then lastly, let's just make a placeholder for menu 5. Interesting. I thought we had a menu 5. Let's do a And pretty soon, my goal here is to make you think that this probably is going to get pretty hectic with all this iRise spaghetti, and I'm going to teach you kind of how to simplify this. It looks like we have all the switch views going on here. I created something called menu 5. Someone else joins me and they can have menu 5. So looking at this, without checking anyone's work here, it looks like we have on-clicks working with all of these. Let's just see if our switch view works. That rarely happens on the first try. Oh, I see a message. Oh, Anita dropped. Don't worry, Anita. This is all being recorded. Let's see if, let's take a look at our team here. Anita, Manica, Yi, Benny 5, Tony, Dura, Chun Yu. All right, so Chun Yu, we need work. It's not moving to Chun Yu's page and Anita's page. So Anita, this set menu item's working, but this guy, let's go into Anita. Oh, maybe.
There's the set view. There is set menu instead of set views, I think.
Sorry, what was that, Anita?
There is a set menu instead of switch views on those, I think. You know, after.
Oh, yes, you turn this into a set menu instead of a switch view. There you go. So if we moved it to switch view, Anita, that would probably work. Okay, we have the same issue with Chun Yu. He's got a set menu. So I guess our visual look is all the set menu items should have the menu kind of icon with a finger doing something. And all the views should have kind of this view icon. Let's take a look, see if this works. Got to see what would happen with the team here when we all become millionaires. They're going to have a beach house, so that's good. Don't know what Anita's going to do with her $1 million yet. Private island, all right, so Yi mansion, menu 5 to be determined. I got the jet, so I can go visit Being in Manica and Yi. I don't know how far the mansion is, but I can definitely do that. Adura's going to fly too, so we'll be going there. And still waiting to find out what Chun Yu would do with $1 million. So pretty good. Now I'm going to do the next step. So one of the things I had mentioned, and it seemed kind of like a throwaway item in the first class, but since we're doing it now, I wanted to encourage everyone, and I'll show you why. In fact, one item I just put in there today, and I had discovered it from last week's meeting, is one, I have everyone go ahead and create a profile on the user group, community of iRise. This is kind of an open source group, and there will be times when you're stuck or times when other people are stuck. Professionally, it's a really good thing to do is to kind of contribute questions or answers. It kind of helps make you, a known entity in the community. This is kind of a, this kind of a growing practice right here. So if everyone could go to this site, if you have a Google account or a Yahoo account, you can go ahead and you can just get your own account set up here. I guess it's the Get Satisfaction software. So I'm going to just go ahead and see if I can get a profile page or something like that. Profile info. Wait, I'll sign out. I'm trying to figure out how to link this with the page. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just on this next part just model it up for everyone. And we're about to do the second step. We are going to turn each one of our screens into a master, because this blue stuff is just it's crazy. It's too hard on the eye. So hold on one moment. I'm going to make this. I'm going to standardize the size of everything. So let's make all these. Make this back. Okay, let's make them all 600 by 200. By 200. And then after this, let's, you know, it's nice to kind of be on the same page, but boy, it's starting to get pretty crowded here, and there's a good chance that we might inadvertently mess someone else's thing up while we're doing stuff, and so I think it's time for us to, you know, kind of still collaborate, but kind of find our own space. And about to do that in one quick movement. I'm going to show you how to, I'm going to demonstrate it on mine, and then I'm going to have you guys do it on yours. So. Person 5, 605. So this is a great page. It's really nice to have all of our stuff integrated, but it's starting to get a little crowded on this page. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to ask everyone else to do, is we're going to make a master. We're going to turn our page into a master. This will now, if you guys have the correct preferences, good things will happen. I'm going to find out who does not have the correct preferences set up on their studio after this happens. The default, iRise by default, is going to want to put in a bunch of scroll bars. And that's what will happen on yours, and we can fix it up. But if you set it up correctly, this should be a nice, seamless, painless thing. So we want to find the team roster. We want to start turning everything into master. So you go, first we need to select, find this thing called team roster, and then under the views, we want to select our name. So I'm going to go to Tony Calise, and after Tony Calise is set up, I want to save Tony Calise as a master. All right, and then it's going to call you master 1, so go back and just name it. You want your name on everything, so it's super easy to find the Tony Calise stuff. And then the default name is Tony Calise, so Tony Calise. So when you guys are ready, start going over to your, find your view, and then save it as a master. Just do a right-click, Save As. And when you do that, I'm going to start seeing masters popping up right underneath here. Oh, all right. Someone created one. Badura's created one. Chen, nice. Masters. Okay. So this is interesting.
I don't see the menu where you go and click your name on the page. I don't see that control.
Okay, excellent.
Between the menu tab.
All right, this is Chen.
No, this is Anita.
Anita. All right. So oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, so there's a couple parts here. So the easiest way to do it is if you click here in the center. With the exception of B-Chen, B-Chen just took the entire, selected the entire roster. So she's going to need to, I'm going to simplify her. Like, we are just all living in, she's taken out of this whole thing. She's not afraid of all this stuff here. She is a master within a master. So we are all, hold on one moment. I'm going to just kind of bring these masters up one moment here. Hold on one moment. So sometimes you make too big of a master. So right now it's border master 1. That's one level too high. So master 4, or Manica, Yours, I think, is one level higher than we want. So, so we actually are, this is called team roster. So the team roster contains views. Nope, not yet. Break master up. Now the team roster contains views. Okay. So we have team roster, a redundant view. This is very cool because I can start showing you some of the other troubleshooting things. So I think this guy, I'm going to just take a quick and see how all the other masters work. So Yi, nice. Yi, if I go find reference, you reference up to master 3. Where's master 3? All right. Master 3, hopefully that's not used by anyone. Delete you. You was able to target it, right? And Dora, let's see. Find reference. Perfect. Okay. So Dora, you got it. You nailed it on the first one. Very few people get it on the first try. And then Dora, you go ahead and hey Joel, how's it going? We got a training going on, and there's 12 people who are in control of my thing on the GoToMeeting screen. So anyways, Joel's joined as well.
There's a meeting going on in our conference room. Just to get my computer, the guy think on it.
Okay. Well, anyway, so folks, welcome Joel. Joel, here's everyone else. You're menu 5, whenever you join. So who was having was Beijing? Were you? I was going to work with someone to kind of select the right item to make it into a map. Was that Beijing?
Yeah.
Kind of start. Okay, I'm going to make you the presenter. Oh, yeah. Oh, you have to download it though. So Beijing, I'm going to just kind of show you how to do it. So the first thing is, click the item right here, and you want to see that Beijing is the person that's selected. I believe someone inadvertently had the team roster selected, and then it took everyone and put them into master. We want to simplify it down here. So Beijing. And then from here, you can just do a right click and do save as master. Anita is going to demo this one. Anita, do you want to demonstrate how to turn Beijing into master?
Okay, so I select this and then...
Like Beijing. And then you want to double check in that breadcrumb up. And what you want to do is move it up. You want to make sure that Beijing is on the bottom. That is the breadcrumb that's selected. Let me just stop.
Oh, okay.
Right here. This is a very important guy right here. Turn it back to normal. Okay. So you're one level 2. How you want to move it up to? You want to make sure it says Beijing. It's the last thing. So click there. Go up one level. Beijing. Yes, that's what you want to have turned into master. Now you can turn this into master. Either right now, I think in your part, I would turn it up, go up to the edit menu, up at the very top, right next to the file.
Should I change the properties that shows it
No,
as,
not yet.
Okay.
This renaming thing's what you have to do after you go turn it into master. So if you go up to the edit menu, I'm going to circle. I'm going to highlight one other thing. That one back. All right, so to get Beijing, we've lost focus. We want this to be Beijing. So see if you can select Beijing. Again, because right now we have a menu selected. We want Beijing's view. We want to turn that into the master. Not the team tabs, from the team roster. Go down right here. This is, we want to turn this, oops, we want to turn this into master.
So should I click
Yeah,
there?
click there and move it up. Yeah, it should be, you want this thing right here, right underneath team roster. That's what we want to turn into master. And now you go up to, yes, it's a team roster. Let me handle it.
I'm
So we
sorry.
have team roster. Oh, no worries. We just if you grab control, you just have to run, I put you on the spot and make you run the training. That's the only problem. So you hit this guy, and whoops, underneath it. You want to get a being. And now we want to turn being into a master. And we can use save as master.
Okay.
And the first thing it's going to do is it turns this into, we call it master 1. So we just do Chen. And then the way we get to it now is we can just double click. And now we can call this Chen. And now the Chen can do anything, Being can do anything she wants, and she doesn't have to look at all the silly things that all of her other teammates are doing. She can kind of operate in isolation, but at the end of the day, all of her work will be rolled up. Let's see if we've managed to break this simulation just yet. Because one of the things that we have done is we've inadvertently put in a redundant section. All right, I knew we could do this here. So part of creating the masters is, this is excellent, we've inadvertently have reset our behavior. So we were changing the masters, and then all of a sudden, these things got, because we moved things around, this behavior got reset. So this is why it's so good to label it here. iRise got amnesia. It doesn't know what view to switch to. So on this master level, it forgot who to go to. And Dura looks like she hasn't renamed hers yet, so she could be Master 1 or Master 2. We can't quite fix that one just yet. If we go here and look at this, did someone, yeah, the team roster, did someone turn the team roster back into a master?
So I think I did it. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Who is that? Oh, Anita. Is that you, Anita?
Yes.
All right. Sounds good. Let's, we're going to break the reference here. Make reference. It's obviously the opposite, so if you want to undo making a master, you can break reference. The only downside of that is every time you do that is you create a redundant section called team roster. There's a special technique for removing that. I will go over that later. So Anita, for creating your view, you want to go for Anita selected. You want the Anita directly underneath the team roster. And now go up to Edit. The Edit menu up here. There you go. Hit Edit and then Save as Master. Perfect. Now it's Master 2, but make sure you call that thing Anita, because we just, by doing this, we broke all the behaviors for switching to view, so we're going to have to go ahead and do that. And then double click in the center. That should be taking you to master. Hang on a second. Anita, I thought we had just turned you into master. Oh, you turned your text box into master. We went one level smaller than what we were looking for. So this is a master, but we wanted this guy to be a master. Oh, hold on 1 second. All right, this is getting too crazy. I'm taking my control back here. All right, I'm taking control back. All right, she's here. We're going to go ahead and we'll break this master reference, and so Anita's in this redundant section. I'm going to call this redundant. And so this redundant section, I don't want this here at all. It adds no value. And it's just kind of a side effect of making a reference. I'm going to just so you guys can see this redundant thing that we don't like. you just kind of want to get rid of it because all it does is it makes it hard to find things. So this is an advanced concept, but you can do wrap in, and you go unwrap one level. And now it's Anita. And then this is advanced stuff, so I don't expect you guys to do this. Normally there's some widgets you can collapse. There we go. So we got rid of our redundant section, and I'm going to just say Anita here. All right, so we want the thing right underneath the team roster, turn to master. And then we go here, and we'll save as master. Now we'll call this Anita. And one of the things you'll notice is I can't click the text box and click. There's this like glass thing in front of it. Well, I have to double click it again. It takes me to this thing called Master 3, and I want to rename that Anita. Right. Let's take a look at all the other folks on the roster here. So we have Gail. We have someone called Master 1. So we want to update Master 1 to say Yi, because we've broken all the menu behaviors with doing the switch view. Oh, but nice job of naming your Master Yi. We can call it. How do you pronounce your last name? Is the X?
Shi.
Sounds like a she.
Shi.
Okay. Master 2, Adora, is named hers Master 2, so we're going to call just her Adora. Looks like everything else is named. So let's kind of go through the top. Right. So Gail is not a master. Well, I'm going to go ahead and turn her into a master. In fact, while I'm doing it, I think everyone's created a master. We have to repair these behaviors. You take a look right here. Some background noise. I'm just going to mute everyone here for a moment. If you see right here, all of these behaviors have been broken because we were kind of switching things, and iRise couldn't quite figure out. I mean, we were at one point, I think we were like a mirror staring at a mirror. So here, look at Dora. iRise isn't quite sure what we need to do anymore. But fortunately, we did a nice job labeling everything, and you can find Adora right there and add it. I'm going to let everyone fix their own behaviors. I'm going to go find mine. I am here, and I'm going to hit Tony Calise. I'll turn the audio back on here. There we go. All right, I think audio is back on. So if everyone could go through, I think we've all created our masters. And some of the masters that we made were redundant, so I'm going to go ahead and just make sure they're not being used anymore. And you right-click Find Reference. Delete. Find Reference, not used. The Adora you added here. You're going to Adora, he's going to Yi. Go ahead and just check out this simulation. Yi, Tony, on you. The beginning, we need your behavior. Nita, Manica. He's going. Any 5 detail. Tony's good. Adora, Chunky. So, Adora, would you be able to help out menu 5 so menu 5 goes to the right place? And Yi, could you help out Chun Yu's behavior so his goes out there? And then I'm going to put Ying on the spot. Ying,
right?
You want me to, I can make you, actually, you don't have the presenter view.
Well, so the
Can you-
first person, so
You're right here, this is the one that's broken.
they,
What I've highlighted there. Not sure if you want to.
I added view
Okay,
opinion.
yes. Oh, perfect, perfect. Okay. Let's take a look, see if this is all fixed up. And then, you know, this is the fun of it. You know, it's fun to collaborate, but then after we've been doing it for a while. Nice. Okay. And then there's one last thing I just had up here. I didn't unload it, but, oh yeah, someone fixed that already. Way to go. Okay. All right, so now we have this. Now let's kind of move in and let's collaborate kind of safely. The next thing we're going to do is kind of a drag and drop. This is all kind of part of Team 2. But let's move all of our team details into this folder called Team 2. And you can do that by dragging your chapter and you pop it right into this folder. You can have everyone go ahead and move their items into the folder, into the Team 2 folder. And I put a couple of hazards there. There's a good chance at least one of you is going to accidentally fall into Team 1 or reusable registration. Just let me know. All right. I'll move Gail because Gail's not here. All right, Adora. See if we found everyone there. All right, we'll let Adora move when she does. But the next part that I would like to challenge is to have you guys put in a link to your Get Satisfaction profile so that you can register on this, you know, so you can put comments on community.irise.com, and most importantly, vote for this location idea that I have. Because I think it would make training and everything a lot easier if they put that into the next release. So I'm going to just kind of model out. I'm going to put in a section called Helpful Links. And iRise support, you got community support.
So this
And I'm going to put in a navigation behavior, but this one, I'm not going to have it go to iRise. I'm going to have it link to the website. Have it open up in a pop-up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the ability to, you know, you guys can say, hey, Tony, what's that link? Or what I'm going to do is I'll just make this thing a master. And I'll go ahead and save it. Now, on each one of your pages, I'm going to just delete this. You can just drag and drop it, and you'll have my link right here. The next thing, though, that I'm going to have you do is put in your own link just to see if you've actually registered for the thing. After you register, you have to get this Get Satisfaction profile, I guess, set up. I think that's how you get into it. So I'm going to have a link for your Get Satisfaction profile. This part isn't, you know, necessarily super important for the training, but this is how you get the product to do what you want to do. So if there's something that's driving you up the wall and it's really easy if iRise did it, I'll show you some examples.
Yeah, the summary web space yeah. Then this one, so you can get it. Oh, I see. Which port you want to be the portal? After the thing, I show you. Oh, it's giving the link. Maybe a link is typo. You see the
And
link.
now I'm going to do another type of a link. So this one's unique to me, so I'm not going to make this one a master. And window control, or link to website. And the link, this time I'm going to say, has the, I'm going to use the text of the link as my URL. So let's take a look at this link. You can see how it's coming together here. Okay, everyone's got the link to the iRise support community. Anita, it's double protected. She's got 2 links to it. Monica, you've got the legacy settings, I think, on yours. I'm going to go.
I do. Okay.
Your preferences, or do you know where those are? I can help you with those. E's good. Mini 5's good. Tony's double secret protected on this one. What did I do with my link there? Adura, got to work with you. It looks like there's some legacy setting there on yours as well. So Adura and Monica, your preferences need to be updated.
No, actually, I try to follow what you are doing. That's why.
Okay. I'm not sure if I popped that, but let me just, I want to make sure in terms of the screen, it looks a little different than I would have expected. Okay, so this is my profile. But then when I go here, okay, it looks like there's something that's on top of, in one of these redundant sections. So hold on one moment here. All right, now we won't have that issue anymore. But look like I won't even get into it. There's just there's these little leprechauns that like to run through the tool, and I'll talk to you about those at some other point. But it's I got rid of this is kind of why the masters are kind of good to have set up here. So all right. So use my Get Satisfaction profile. Oh, someone switched to Google already. Timer. Nice. And now that all goes to Google, and then anyone can change that master and go to wherever you like. And then for this Get Satisfaction, here's a couple examples of things you put in there. So on the training when I was with the Dura last week, I noticed something that made it pretty tricky. And you'll see that this will be, I bet you, probably in the next release of iRise. I put it in there. I noticed that on the dynamic view rules editor, there's no label on there. So I was trying to tell Adora, like, okay, well, update, fill in the blank, and there wasn't a way for me to say, to call it out because iRise hasn't put a label called logic or value. That's what I'm proposing. And so I just kind of put in a description of the problems that said what I'd like to put in there, and then the way you get this put in there is you get people to +1 your item. So one thing, once everyone has their profile set up there, I've got a couple ideas in there that I think in the next release would make it a lot easier for us to collaborate on. So that's just kind of a minor exercise for us. So has anyone set up a Get Satisfaction profile yet? No? I can let you guys do that offline because that's technically not, the tool won't technically work better or worse, but in the big scheme of things, it's very useful to get access to a Get Satisfaction profile. So, okay, well, we've accomplished that. Now the next thing I'd like to do, I mean, the menus were good, but the way I see us heading out to, and we're going to eventually get into an iBlock that improves this, is kind of this tile view. Right now we're doing a whole lot of tabs, and I've shown you this. I'm going to start kind of getting into using the section widget. It's a very powerful widget, and making a tile view, because there's this one feature that I've been using right now, which is just, it's kind of outgrown its purpose. So has everyone seen this page, this thumb browser page, this landing page that I'm showing right here? If this is your first time seeing it, this is just kind of a welcome page, and anyone that wants anything, I just kind of have it here for them. In fact, that reusable registration stuff that we started to work on is like item 6 here. But this is just kind of an ugly beast of a page, and I think we can improve upon that. And so that's what I'm just going to, for the balance of today, I was going to kind of come up with a self-serving requirement for our, that make a nicer, easier to use welcome page to find things. So, but has everyone been able to see this? Have you guys seen the landing page or the thumb browser page? If you haven't, I'm going to give you, because it sounds like everyone's on the same useful registration project. We're now, so you can check, feel free to check on any of the other tabs, but in fact, I'll do a quick demo, because you seem to be going pretty solid here. We simulated the current state of how the CMS portal works. Some of the things that you'll notice here are advanced that you haven't learned just yet. You'll notice how this page kind of floats in the center. That's not a standard iRise tool. You have to use something that's called an iBlock to be able to do that. This stuff right here, this uses the menu widget. We did some styling there to make it look like a tab. And then, kind of go through, oh, I'm sorry, this one where we show you how to do new user registration. And you can go ahead and click and go next. There's a convention here where, although I think I'm going to switch it to, it's always a URL, but if you do demo something, this lets whoever's demoing it take a shortcut. So instead of filling in all the information, they can just kind of fill in their information there. This, by the way, is the kind of what we did as a kind of our proof of concept to see is visualization something that might be used or valued. So this is kind of our initial project that we put together. Has anyone seen this demo?
Yeah, we have seen.
I'm not sure who that was. I'm going to look at it. If you say it again, I can at least see your name.
Oh, I have been seeing this before. It's E.
Oh, you've seen this demo before?
Yeah.
The audio is a little distorted. Is that a yes or you type in yes or no in the chat window and I'll see.
Okay.
So anyways, this is kind of an, oh, you have, Adora's seen this one. So anyways, we are working on the next iteration of this one for this reusable registration framework. And so we're starting to come up with all these different demos. And reusable registration, by the way, is we kind of just have something with some functions here where, and we're starting to, team one, there's Adora, Monica, and and Chung was on there as well. Kind of worked on one of these, but we have something for these. This concept of a model. It can be activated or inactivated, and this is just very rapidly prototyped. Does not really look like stuff just yet. So we kind of have some interesting things here. But that's, that's kind of the starting point, this add model. And this is where we're going to start working on is, kind of, we started to simulate what creating a model would look like. And so this is all well and good, but we're starting to have a lot of people coming to the Definition Center for different reasons. And the Some Browser design just really is starting to show its age. And I think we've come up with a better UI convention. So kind of show you where we're heading with that one. I'm going to show you, we have a template. What that template is.
Okay, that's why come up.
We've been doing a lot of simulation here, so take me one moment to find out where it is. Layout master.
Another one.
So there's a couple other ways to kind of design a screen. I'm starting to talk about it, but there's some layouts, and to show you there's that kind of design patterns here. We can start kind of making things grid, and I like to kind of start showing you this grid pattern for how we can kind of lay out this welcome page. That'll be an easier way to kind of orient our, whoever our demo is, whatever they like to have. So basically it starts off real simple. It's going to kind of have a pattern where we have some consistently sized rectangles or sections that resemble tiles, so that whoever's giving the demo can very quickly get to whatever they want to see. The inspiration of this one is the For Joel page. We have what I'm trying to simulate is this. And I think this is kind of a cool design that we might use later on. This is, by the way, a sneak peek into some of the things that we'll be doing in our next session will be in the advanced styling concepts. I want to have tiles here, so the welcome page, you can see, there'll be one tile that says landing page, another says reusable registration or create model, and then you'll be able to click on it, and then we'll have more options here. It's kind of a nicer looking UI, but it all begins before there's 4 components that are in here, and right now we haven't worked on any of them just yet. We've worked on behavior. We're going to start working on styles with the next training. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of invent our next project, and between now and then, keep on getting scheduled with your satisfaction account. But I'm going to create for Team 2 our new Some Browser. We're going to have, I think I started to create it. It's called Another Browser. All right, here we go. So we have this, we have Some Browser here, but we're about to create something that's way cooler than Some Browser. It's going to be Another Browser. We have a something called this design pattern. Some of this stuff I'm going a little faster than, I'm going faster because I'm not going to go into designing this just yet. So I created a So here's our grid, and I believe this icon, it means it's a template. The reason why that's kind of cool is it's a pattern. So if we go to Team 2, I believe, it's under Team 1, we have one of those. If you have a scenario and you drag and drop a template, so once we get into our high expertise of all this really incredible stuff that no one else knows how to do, we're going to want to make a template or patterns. And so we have this one called the small grid, and if you drag and drop it right here, it kind of all of a sudden builds a page just for us, all the components that was just demoing right here. This guy just did a drag and drop, and by dropping him into the page, where did he go? All right. Small grid. There may be a limit to how much I can do while GoToMeeting doing that here. Oh, maybe that's just okay. I thought those were the patterns. That's the master. All right. So, oh, templates right here. Small grid. So here's an example of the template. So templates are kind of really new thing that once you want to kind of standardize, once our team has kind of come up and developed this cool concept that we want to have everywhere, there's this icon called template to kind of frame things up. So I want to make kind of a small grid. I just dropped that into the another browser. What we're going to talk about. If you take a look at this, this just made a copy of this pattern right here. And what we want to do is we want to kind of start making, turning this into useful tiles. So we're going to start grouping this into our simulations. Trying to think how I can do this without getting too much into the advanced concepts. So each one of these thumbnails, we'll go ahead and, they're masters, and we were showing before how you can kind of break masters. Right now everything's pointing to this thumbnail. And I don't want to look at too much else that's going on the page. I just want to work on this one thumbnail, and I want to make one for reusable registration. This is for demo purposes, and then some other ones as we come across. So I'm going to break this master reference, and I want to put in a header called reusable registration. And I want to put in a behavior here. I know it's 320.
Yeah, I am.
Just makes a larger header right now, but we'll want to standardize this header style. And then we're going to have some links. So I guess right here there's this admin. Administrative function. So in terms of the demo, we can kind of hear from our customer what they would like to be able to demo, but I'm thinking administrative functions. And that can take you to the administrative functions menu. We also might want to make another tab and try to break these up here so we can divvy this among the team, called model. and I'm deliberately breaking some rules. You're going to hear me say I'm deliberately doing some things that I will later tell you never to do, and that's because we just haven't gotten to the advanced styling just yet. Thank you. All right, so model. I think we'll just have it. So this is going to be, and then we'll have our last one will just be the landing page. Use IAM.
Yeah. So you can share the other piece. That's it. I just typed it. I mean, I already downloaded it. I'm running right now.
Oh, you know, we'll have another one called application. Application.
Yeah. So,
okay.
So that server, after that server, the name is called.
And then the last one, I'll go ahead and just make this one. This will just be the ActionNet Center of Practice.
Yeah, something. Yeah, so you can, if you see some other
And then from here, we'll put our advertising to our pages here.
No. For all of this.
Oh, yeah. The password is the same for everything.
So here we go. We have the ActionNet Center of Practice. We're going to be working on several items, but I want Team 2 to be able to contribute to the ActionNet Center of Practice. I'm going to be working on other items here as well as but we'll want the ActionNet Center of Practice to be able to have their section bubbled up here, and we're going to try to make our little tile the coolest tile of everyone on the board. So I'm going to go ahead and so we have the ActionNet Center of Practice. That'll be right here. And Team 2, we're going to be building another browser. Be kind of the thing that we're doing here. So underneath the ActionNet Center of Practice, let's go ahead and kind of zoom into the ActionNet Center of Practice again. Can you guys get here to this, navigate to this master, the ActionNet Center of Practice? Once you guys are there, I'm going to go ahead and try to put some more of these cool controls here that I don't think we've necessarily gone through just yet. So I believe we've done a nice job with text boxes. I'm just putting up an image here. We've done sections. I believe we've done tables. Have we covered tables? Have we done data tables here? Oh no, we have a class for data though.
I don't think we have done tables.
What was that?
I don't think we have done tables to display data.
Okay, so we have a class for data. We may have done tables, so I want to save that there. Horizontal rule. Tile list, that will be a part of our data section as well. But I can kind of show you how that one, we come back to that. We've done forms for submitting data. We have done text boxes got to switch here. I am trying to think of the next items here. So we've done text boxes. I don't know if we've done text areas. Have we done drop select widgets? We have a select widget. I don't think I've shown these items. So we're going to work from select all the way over to the button here. These other guys on the right-hand side, this is going to be more for our advanced class. We've done just the linking behavior, the action behavior, and a little bit of the clipboard. We'll revisit that when we get to the data. So I think what I want to do now is have us kind of focus on the select widget and go all the way over to the button. The nice work on the pictures. Did anyone put any pictures in there, though? Oh, fun. Well, for pictures, let me show you a real quick trick on that one. Does everyone have Microsoft PowerPoint on their computer? If you don't have Microsoft PowerPoint, let me know. For images, I think I touched on this at the last class. All the images have been standardized. And so what I recommend doing is using Font Awesome. And I'm going to add this list here. There's a Font Awesome cheat sheet you can download. It's on GitHub. That way you don't have to remember the character codes. And you will have to have Font Awesome installed locally. I think most people have this. But this is how you go ahead and make some icons here. So for images, for example, we want to have some cool thing on our browser. Like, so I guess we want our header to have this maximize icon. Well, that's a standardized one. I guarantee it's probably in Font Awesome. Like, they have this guy for maximizing.
For the password for all of them. By the way, change one, then
Try to figure out which one it is. This is the standard UI for sites. Let's go ahead and pick that one if I don't see the stacked boxes. That's probably just because my eyes are going too fast. So we can go ahead and we'll just put this together. That needs to be a universal control for expanding. So you copy this icon right here, and then when you go into PowerPoint, you can, there's this neat feature in Word where you can just kind of, or in, I think actually all the Microsoft products, where you can kind of put in any text you want, and they'll turn it into an image. So we go to Font Awesome, and we can make our little our image here. Boy, there ought to be a different one for expanding and contracting. So I'm just putting this one here as an example of how to put in an image. There's probably a better one if I want to spend the time that you can put in there, but you do copy, and then you paste it as picture. And I like to crop it. And you can go ahead and copy this, and then in PowerPoint or iRise, you have two choices. You can paste or paste from external. In this case, you can paste from external. You still are going to need to, if you want to have a mouse over a hover effect, I guess you're still going to have to choose a file. But we could, have this as our expand, contract. So does everyone? So I'm going to go ahead and just put that on today's minutes view. This is actually a sneak peek into what we'll do with the advanced. any of the abandoned. I do remember covering that there's a mouse over effect. I happen to have a couple other images locally here, so I'm just going to put a different image in. So, yeah. So I'll just have a just kind of an interesting one there, so you can hover effect on the plate. So the image here. So that's the image widget, but thank you for whoever put that in there to kind of remind me of that one. We also have, someone put in the icon there, we have memo. Let's go ahead and take a look. Someone, I thought, I don't know if this wasn't the team, there you have a select widget right here. The select widget enables you to just, can be populated, it has a couple of different properties. It can be a standard list or a dynamic list. The dynamic list, we're going to save that for more of the data class, or we might get into that accidentally. But from the select widget, you have a couple different properties, and I'll just, the center of practice, let's just call it team members. Team to members. Or team members, there we go. And so we'll just have a standard list. And so just kind of going off of the list of folks there, there's Beijing, Ken. Let's see if I can remember. Beijing. B-E-I.
That's correct.
Nice. This one's hard because you can only be in the widget one at a time. So it says right here that there's right now, and it's a standard list. Normally you have please select with a, and you can have that as your default value. Or, so we can put it here and we'll have a team member. And then so this has the ability to kind of select and choose team members. So that's kind of a selection item, and there's a couple other properties too. You can have it, you can, I won't get into the specify output value, that'll be for the data, but you can have it do multiple selections, and you can also have it so it's just kind of a static list. So let me just kind of show you the, the standard way that a list is used. Have your team members, and we can populate this with everyone. Here's our mouse over widget. And right now this is select one. You can also have it do multiple selections. I believe, and so multiple selections actually kind of turns this into a different type of a box. It's interesting. Okay, so and then there's something special with the that please select right now. You kind of manually put it in there. Under a dynamic list, there's a concept called a directive. Yeah, that clears it out. They the standard list. So that's these items here. All these can be hidden or disabled. I'm not sure how often that's used. Normally, if you want to, so we won't go into those properties yet. There's a very tricky property that I advise relying too much on, which is a push property. In theory, when this is selected, that means that there's something above it it would push it out of the way. So in the case where there's data or something like that, it can push this control down to the end of the data. But that practice is kind of wonky, and there's kind of a responsive design that I think works a little bit better and it's easier to work on. And so probably don't even want to teach it. I think that's an old technique that's going away. The next item that we have are radio buttons and checkboxes. These start to get a little bit more complicated because they kind of have this concept of an array. So team member, let's just say on here we'll have the ability to, on the center of practice, you can select your team member, and this can be, you would have the ability to assign work or demo their work. So let's just kind of say that our customer, they go to the action at center practicing, and they're just like, you know, I don't know anything about iRise, but I know that I was working with Being, and I know she gave me some demo. I'd like to be able to see that. And on this page, you'll be able to select Being and hit the radio button demo, and then we'll come up with some other controls, but then that would allow them to see whatever work Being had demoed. Or they could say, you know, I know that I want to work with someone from the center of practice. I want to see what's on their work queue, and they could have that toggle. So a radio button is a toggle. I'm not a big fan of that control too much because you're limited to how big the radio button can be, and I'll show you in the advanced styling classes some alternatives to that one. But the concept's it's worth being aware of. So and with the radio buttons, there is a couple properties. You have a size, which I don't think you have much control over. Yeah, you can't size them. So you can have the X and Y coordinate. The tooltips, that's just when you hover over it. And you have an option of radio button or radio group. I'll show you the difference between the two, but a radio button is, you know, only one button can be selected, whereas a group is several of them can be selected. Kind of works like a checkbox. So I'll call this, and you need to have them belong to the same group. You need to have them associated. So I made a copy of it, set 1, set 2, and I'm just going to put in miscellaneous. Right now, they all belong to the same stack.
Yeah.
But obviously, they're not being pushed down. The push property.
Yeah. So you can you want there's no problems.
Yeah, I don't use that push property very often. I'm going to move this back to the standard select one at a time. It's a good practice to kind of just know how big your screen is going to be. Right here we have you know, this radio ID, so you can perhaps hit Being and say assign work, demo work, and miscellaneous. If we were to change miscellaneous, if we were to change this to a radio group, actually, that's let's just leave that at radio button right now. We'll get into radio group. That's more of an advanced data concept. So the important thing is that on this one, you want to have them named differently. You have each of the radio buttons named differently. Show you why in one moment. guess it'd be a good practice to show what goes wrong with it. I'm just going to show you the right way first, and then I'm sure we're going to make a mistake. And then I can show you what goes, I'll remind you of this one. So work status, member of work, and this is kind of important because we've done dynamic views before, and we've had menus, menu action set something, but I'm going to create real quickly a couple views here. One. So I've shown you before how you can do an action if you just go out and change, go ahead and change something. But there's also, you can kind of have like a jQuery type of thing where you can just have this look at a widget. I'll show you that in one moment. Demo, sign, miscellaneous. We'll call this view work. Now, in the past, I've shown you that you could have a, an on-click saying, hey, every time I click something, make this box do something. But since I know that this is, going to be based on a widget, I can just have it, I can alternatively have it take a look at the work widget. And I hope I named everything correctly. So, sign, demo. Miscellaneous. Important property of the radio button is that you have you can have an output value set for it. So if these radio buttons are useful, so I can, I guess I have that set as my default. I would probably have my default view set to IL. So presumably someone would come here and say, Ying, I want to assign her work or demo some work or something that's miscellaneous. So the checkbox works in that capacity. Alternatively, you could do kind of simulate similar behavior using checkbox. And this is the person that says, they're a slave driver here. They're not, oh, I only am going to do one or the other. They want to have the ability to do all of them. Anyway. Right, good work, and then so the checkbox here, this is a non-binary, so just like a checkbox, just like the radio button, you don't have really any control over the size of it, but you can, have. It has slightly. It's a simpler one, and the properties here are either checked or unchecked, so it's 1 or 0. So, demo. And on this one, we can show that there's a behavior here. We can, have an event, do an action here, and we can make this one show. I guess we can put in a value here that we'll just put in a text box. It shows give work, and then we'll have an on and an off view. Definitely lose some people here. I know I started working on the widget on the work one, and everyone starts to disappear here. So, so I'm going to go ahead here, and so
so
similar to this one, you can have it. You can give work,
so this is
and you're able to have the widget take a look at that. And unlike a radio button, you can have them checked. You don't, and again, the problem is the size isn't, it's the same size no matter what. So if you have a high resolution screen, you have a very small target area. If you have a low resolution screen, you can get a larger target area. Other items here, we have a calendar widget. This is, I don't know how often that, I don't see this. This one was neat, but I think that this is not as, I don't think we're going to use this one as much, but you have the ability to format dates, and everyone that I've worked with here prefers a date format that begins with YYY. So that's just another reason why we probably make our own symbol here. So I'll just show this, but this actually is probably one that we won't use. There's other methods for calendars, but here's just the calendar date widget. You can kind of have pop up. This was kind of a neat control earlier on, but there's now other custom controls. Put that in the simulation. We have a file upload. This is we'll get into the when we get into data. We'll cover that in this class, just to show you that this is how you would go ahead, and if you wanted to choose a file, it goes ahead and it just works just like a traditional file upload thing. So I feel kind of like near the end, I kind of wanted to make sure I showed you all of the controls for intermediate. We have the ability now to create masters. I didn't quite go into breaking them and those items, but I think we probably will, as we work on the other items, we'll kind of come up with ways for us to do more reasons why we need to break masters or create. So far, out of everything we've covered, is there anything in particular that folks feel that that would be useful that we'd like to do more of or less of? Personally, I think it's kind of fun where we're all collaborating and working on the same page. I can kind of show you what Team 1 and I have done in the past. And that helps, like right when we start getting into the data, there's a lot of opportunities for the collaboration. I think from what I've observed, the challenges have been trying to find the widgets and identify what you're doing before you apply the behavior to it. But from my observation, I think we'd want to kind of focus as we go through, making sure you can kind of see what's in the breadcrumb area right here and working on consistent naming practices. But I think that's just something that comes with experience. So I guess that's about all I have for the, just kind of this intermediate recap. Are there any questions that folks have on anything that we've done so far? I know we only have a couple minutes left, but I'd be happy to schedule some recaps or refresher on any of the behaviors. All right. Well, I kind of let us go right to the end of the call, but this has been, I think, a pretty condensed iRise intermediate session. I think we'll start next week. Our session will be focusing on 30 boxes. And by the way, I want to see everyone, if they can, go ahead and log on to the Deaf Center, and if you guys could give me put this post in a long time ago, but if you guys could go to the Deaf Center location broadcast so the customers and modelers can get on the same page and like it, I'd appreciate it, but I think that would help us out pretty well. Basically, right now, in order to orient everyone on the same page, I have to share my screen so that everyone can see where I am and get in the same place. The functionality I like to have is be able to, wherever you are in iRise, be able to send out a ping so it shows up in everyone's location window, and they would automatically navigate to the same page. Kind of the short of this one is. So next time when we pull up, I'll see who all is joined on the community.irise.com and see if I might be able to encourage you guys to vote for this idea. I would really love to see this one go into the tool, and I think it would help us collaborate some more. If anyone has any questions or they felt a little limited with audio, please reach out to me. The door's done that in the past, and I think we've been able to put together some valuable catch-up stuff, so please do that. Otherwise, we'll plan to see you guys next week, and have a great 4th of July.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Return us back to here, so I'll finish off a couple notes on here just to follow-up action items. But everyone can just kind of drop off or just kind of watch me type up the rest of the notes. All right, I think that's it. So it seems like it got quiet all of a sudden, but that's all I have for today. I'm going to close this down. I'll put in the link for the next training, and I'll talk to you guys next week.